Okay.
Okay. All right. So welcome. Hi, Pam. Welcome everyone. It is October 28th. I put October 29th on the file. Apparently I don't know, in La La Land, so I apologize. Before we get started with our guest speaker, I kind of want to go over a couple things. The first is there are like 2.5 weeks left in the Scary Fit group. So if you're in there, just be aware. I just set up the new group tonight. It's called Cupcakes Anonymous. It's going to start on November 16th. So you can invite whoever you want to that group. I will actually be away the week before that, and I will be off the grid. So Pam graciously, she didn't volunteer, I had to ask, graciously accepted running the like getting that group all set and making sure people get approved and stuff into it. I will be back for the start of the group, but she's going to run the end of the Scary Fit group and into the next group. So I appreciate that. So thank you, Pam, for doing that. So real quick, also, everyone on this call should be signed up for the Fall Classic. Make sure you kind of pair with people that have similar goals, because if you are kind of just looking to advance your business in a small way and maybe hit Success Club 5, which is always a good goal, but not like win the Fall Classic, you want to be with people that sort of are a similar mindset. So just keep that in mind when you're picking your teams. It doesn't cost anything. You don't have to do anything. It's basically to get your Success Club prize in November in team form. They're really fun, no matter if you win or not. My first, it wasn't a Fall Classic. It was whatever they do, Team Cup, which is what they do over the summer. My first Team Cup, my team came in 6th out of however many bajillion teams there were. And I met my success partner doing the Team Cup, and every single person on my Team Cup team is now diamond and above. So, you know, definitely like a really good opportunity to advance your business, get to know other people, meet some success partners and all that. So if you have any questions, please let me know. You have to register by Saturday night in order to get on a team and qualify for your Success Club prizes. I don't know if you saw, but the second tier, which is like 7 or 8 points a team member, has really amazing hammer and chisel gear, which I was like, that is mine. So Sarah, wherever you are in this call, we're getting that gear. So yeah, so thanks for coming, and I'll answer any questions about that stuff at the end, but I want to introduce Dana, who's our guest speaker tonight. I'm so excited. She's doing the what do you like, the Miss America wave?
Pageant wave.
Dana's an Emerald coach with a really active coaching team. Like, all of her coaches are pretty much working coaches, which is really amazing, and she's a great leader. She's branched off to do a lot of her own challenge groups, which is super amazing. And she's really good at dealing with haters. I didn't like really want to put that as the title of this call, like how to deal with haters, but she's really good at sort of brushing people off and doing her thing and rocking it that way. So I am going to let her take over. If everyone can just put themselves on mute, and then I'm sure Dana will take questions at the end. So take it away.
Okay, great. So guys, I'm really excited to be here tonight. When Jillian kind of first asked me to do this a couple weeks ago, I was like super nervous to do it, but I've known Jillian a really long time, and I know better than to tell Jillian no. So I just said, okay, like just tell me what I have to do and I'll do it, and just kind of get out of my comfort zone. So here I am. I think I probably know most of you on this call tonight, but for those who don't, I'm Dana. I'm a mom. I have 2 kids. I work full-time. So for me, Beachbody is definitely, well, it really just started as a way for me to get Shakeology on discount. And it's just kind of grown from there. But yeah, I do work full-time, so this is not my full-time job yet. And yeah, I basically, like I said, I kind of just like fell in love with everything after Jillian sent me a really awesome birthday present. She sent me Shakeology Jumpstart Kit for my birthday. And after that happened, I was sold. So like she said, I'm Emerald now, but I'm pushing for Diamond. I have been able to build like a pretty good core group of girls underneath me, which is, they are just totally awesome. But, you know, it hasn't been without a lot of no. It hasn't been without a lot of negativity and just hearing a lot of no along the way. So that's what I want to kind of talk to you guys about tonight. Like, how do you deal with all the no that you're going to hear? Because in this business, we hear no a lot more than we hear yes. And there's constantly going to be haters. There's going to be people who just aren't that appreciative of what we're doing. And you kind of just have to keep wading through. So I'm going to talk about 2 different forms of no tonight. I'm going to talk about like the type of no you hear when you're like offering an opportunity, whether that be, you know, jump starts or challenge groups or coaching or whatever. And then just kind of that general negativity that you get from people, just like super judgmental people who always have something to say, like just can't just let people be people. So for the first kind of no, which is the kind of no we all hear all the time, is when we're doing like our vital behavior. You know, we're out there, we're offering the opportunity to join us in a challenge group, join us in coaching, and they tell us no. So like, what are you going to do? Are you just going to let that, like, you know, be a door kind of closed in your face? So when Jillian had asked me to do this, I was kind of like researching a little bit online about why people say no. And actually what I came across was that most times people are going to say no before they say yes. They just aren't going to say yes right away. They want to stall. They want time to think about the opportunity. They want to feel like more emotionally connected to their decision that they're going to make. So they just say no right off the bat. And actually people will say no 5 times before they give you a yes, which means if you stop at that first no, you're really not giving them a chance to tell you yes. So I just want to kind of like go through a couple of the no's that I hear and like how we can kind of like reframe it to not really hear no, but more of a like no means maybe kind of approach. So like, what's the first kind of no we hear? I think this is probably the worst one for me, is when you throw an opportunity out there and you actually get nothing back in return. The question just kind of like looms there in the message. You know, you've offered it, you've given them all these great compliments, you know, you say, hey girl, you know, you're totally rocking your journey, and then they say nothing. But you know what? That's technically not a no. You haven't told me anything yet. You're still giving me the opportunity to build a relationship with you. So like using like Instagram as an example, because I use Instagram to build my relationships more than any other platform of social media. I just keep continuing to connect with them. If they're still interacting with my account, if I can still interact with their account, I kind of just mark down their name. I mark down the first time I, you know, contacted them, because of course I don't want to harass them maybe a week later, maybe in a couple of months. You know, if we're still connecting and building that relationship, if I still think they're a really great fit for the business, I reach back out, you know, and I'll acknowledge the fact that I've messaged them before. You know, they're not idiots. They probably know I've messaged them before. And I'll just say, hey, you know, I still think you're really awesome. I still think you'd be great for this. I still find you really inspiring and motivating. You know, what would you think about coaching? And that way I give them another opportunity to maybe say no, but this time maybe to say yes. So I definitely don't see that radio silence, which I think we all kind of dread, as a no. The other kind of no that we hear, though, is when they actually are telling us no. They're actually trying to like shut us down. So sometimes what you hear is that no, where they just say flat out, no thanks, I'm not interested. You know, and that kind of feels really permanent, because kind of feels like you just got a door slammed in your face. But hey, if you have to tell me no 5 times before you tell me yes, I still have 4 no's to go. So I just reach out and say, okay, like, thanks for the note. Like, I give them a little acknowledgement, like, appreciate that you didn't ignore me. And just say, you know, that's fine. Like, I can appreciate that. And I'm still here cheering for you. You know, I still want to see you succeed. I'm rooting for you. You know, hope we can stay connected, you know, and just go from there. If they continue to connect with me, I'll do the same with them. And then maybe in a couple months, I can reach back out and say, hey, you know, I know last time you told me no, but, you know, again, I think you're still really great. And I think this could be a business opportunity for you. And then like my favorite kind of no is actually when they give you no with an objection, because this no lets me like clearly keep the conversation going. You're giving me an excuse and I can give you a reason why your excuse maybe isn't a great excuse. So like what kind of excuses do we hear? I think we all hear the no, I don't have time for this. No, I have way too much on my plate right now. I just couldn't dedicate myself to another thing. And for me, I can totally sympathize with that. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I have a full-time job. I have a lot on my plate too. I have friends and family who like to see me, but we can all make time. Clearly, I'm reaching out to these people because they're already making time in their life for health and fitness. So I like to just point that back out to them. Clearly you're already pretty dedicated to your health and fitness. Now I'm just going to give you an opportunity to expand on that if it's with coaching, maybe to turn that, what you're doing, into a little bit of a job. Or if it's a challenge group that I've invited them to, maybe I can explain to them about how it's not going to take as much time as they think. Maybe if it's 21-day fix, just point out it's only 30 minutes a day. And, actually you don't have to even get in the car and go anywhere. You just walk, to the room that you're going to work out in, work out, push play, it's done, you're done. 30 minutes later, you're done. It's actually not as much time as people think, Yeah, there is time involved, but it's not what they think. So I just keep that conversation going. And if they still object, I say, hey, maybe in the future I can come back to you when things like your load has lightened a bit. Reach back out and see if it's a better fit for you then. That way, the no isn't really a no. It's just a door that's kind of left like slightly ajar, and I'm coming back for you. Kind of like set it up. Like, I'm going to harass you again. I'm going to keep it coming. Give you more times to like shoot me down. And then the other one we hear a lot is, the no, I don't have money. I actually think this one's kind of easy because you say, hey, okay, you don't have money. Well, I'm giving you an opportunity to make some money. It's a little bit of an initial investment, but if things go well, you could actually be fixing your situation. I might put it a little nicer than that, but I actually don't think that's that bad of a no. And then if it's for a challenge group, I just come right back at you and say, hey, I offer a lot of free groups too. Maybe you don't have money right now for a program. Why don't you join one of my free groups? That way you're not closing the door. You're not letting them slip by as a potential customer. Get them in our free, clean eating groups. Get them in like one of those 7-day groups or whatever. Get them to kind of see what the opportunity is, because I think a lot of times people are just telling you no because they don't really know what Beachbody is. We hear Beachbody all the time. So, I think we think everybody just naturally knows what it is, and you find that a lot of people don't. So I think they just want to tell you no right off the bat. So when people tell me they don't have money, I can easily keep that conversation going. And, even if they keep fighting me, same as before, I just leave it and say, okay, well, maybe in a couple months I can come back to you and see if it's right for you then. Or I'll say, hey, in a month or so, I'm going to be running, a free group about XYZ thing. Can I reach back out to you then? That way, again, you keep that door open. Don't let them close the door fully on you. And if you keep thinking that they're a great person to be working with, you're leaving yourself that opportunity. And I think the last one that I do kind of hear and sometimes sort of struggle with, because Jillian and I talked about this once, it's like a grass is always greener kind of thing. It's the people who tell you no because they're not far enough along in their journey. The people who aren't like super fit yet, and they tell you no, like, why would anybody want to follow me? I'm still XYZ weight, or I'm not there yet. For me, that's kind of tough because I actually wish I had started sooner. I think it's hard for me to convince people because they haven't seen my journey. They haven't seen that I've lost 40 pounds. So I kind of try to explain that to them. And I also like to tell them, hey, that's the beauty of Beachbody. Beachbody isn't about being at your final weight. It's not about being the most fit. It's about getting there. It's about working on yourself and letting people see you do that. And I remind them too, the reason I'm reaching out is because I find you really inspiring. I find you really motivating. So you may not think that about yourself, but I do. I see it in you, and other people are going to see it too. So, kind of just combat maybe the negative feeling that they have about themselves and let them know that's not true. You know, other people are finding them inspiring. You know, I'm not the only one liking your pictures. Other people like your pictures too. So, you know, just, you know, that's kind of how I try to approach that one. So like I said, every time I hear no, I try to keep that door open, that conversation rolling, especially like once I read that people are going to tell you no, 5 times, 4 times, that seems like a lot of times to just kind of keep going. You know, at times it can feel like you're banging your head against a wall. But I can tell you that of the coaches I have on my team, I think actually only one of them came to me first, and only one of them said no or said yes right off the bat. I actually have a note on Dylan's page. Dylan, I hope you don't mind that I'm saying this. I have a note on Dylan's thing to say, like, come back to her. She'd be great. Mm-hmm. And I did. I just kept on building the relationship with her. And she's great. You know, she's a really good coach. She was someone I didn't want to give up on. And I had to share that because I thought it was really funny when I saw that I actually like had that note. I'm like, oh, see, like I'm following my own steps.
No, can I add something real quick to that?
Yeah.
You followed me and it was great. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. But then it's just like you messaged me at just like the wrong times, like financially. Like I think the first time you messaged me, it was like Christmas or something. And I was like, I don't have any money right now. And then the second time you messaged me was right when I was about to move. Like right when I was told, okay, I got this new job. I need to move cross country. I need to move 1,500 miles. So it was like, okay, I don't have money. But then she came to me with the free group. I was like, I can do free. I like free. That's what happened with that. But it took you 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And now I'm working toward Emerald.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I mean, you just have to like try to like reframe it and tell yourself like no really can mean yes. I mean, unless somebody blocks you or unfriends you or totally takes you off their grid, you can keep going. I mean, there's no harm in it. You know, until you become a scary stalker, there's no harm in it. So then the other type of no I want to talk about is kind of like that general negativity that we all get, you know, just, you know, like, I hate to say it, but like the haters gonna hate kind of people, the Debbie Downers, like the bummer bobs, the people who just never want to see somebody succeed. You know, they always have something to say. And I feel like these people are actually kind of hard to deal with because they kind of start to make you doubt like what you're doing. So I have this one example, you know, just kind of bear with me because it's not Beachbody related, but I work with a woman. Well, I worked with her a year ago. And one day I came into work and she looked at me and in a really aggressive manner said to me, "You have long hair." Like it was the most aggressive statement of fact someone has ever presented me. I didn't even know what to do with it. Yes, I do have long hair. It was like a really weird judgmental thing for her to come at me with. I just kind of like walked away and let it go. But the reason I bring it up is because it kind of shows you when somebody comes at you with a negativity, it probably has nothing to do with you at all. It probably has something to do with them. You know, maybe that day she wasn't liking her hair. You know, maybe my hair looked especially beautiful and it made her mad. You know, maybe her hair is too short and she hates it. Who knows? But I'll tell you what I didn't do. I didn't go back to my desk and say to myself, I'm going to cut my hair off. I didn't go back to my desk and start doubting the fact that I have long hair. It's the same thing with Beachbody. If somebody comes at you and says like, oh, this doesn't work. Well, you know what? Works for me. Like I stick with it. You know, I don't have a problem with it. Plenty of people in my challenge groups are succeeding. So perhaps it's not working for you and you're just kind of throwing it out there. You're trying to say it doesn't work, you know, so why would it work for me? It's a negativity that they basically see it in you and it's shining something on them. You know, your success is basically just showing them how they're not succeeding and it's making them upset. You know, we can't get caught up in this type of judgmental like attitude. You know, if you're passionate about your health and fitness and you think what you're doing is right, you can't let these people get in your way just because, you know, they're in a bad place with what they're doing. So, you know, I think these kind of people, especially when we're not like super acquainted with them, I find it really easy to let those kind of people roll off my back. You know, some people want to be negative for the sake of being negative. There's nothing you're going to do about that. So you just kind of got to let it go. What I do find a little more difficult to deal with is when some of that negativity kind of comes from friends and family, like the people who just kind of all of a sudden have a whole lot of snarkiness, like a whole lot of comments when they see you about how, you know, hey, see you in my feed all the time. Oh, hey, saw you had an egg this morning. Oh, you know, drinking that Shako, are you? You know, it's like, yeah, I get it. I'm popping up in your feed a lot. But I mean, that's part of the business. I'm trying to show up, you know, I'm trying to show people like what I'm doing, that it's working. And, you know, like my brother-in-law, if I eat dinner with him, you know, he's always trying to say to me, oh, are you going to take a picture of that first? Well, yeah, I might. Like if it's a particularly healthy meal that I want to share with people, yeah, I might take a picture of it, might post that to Facebook. But I can't let it get me down. You know, maybe I'll even say to him jokingly, like, hey, you know, by the way, like there's a black feature, you know, if you don't like it, you don't have to see it. I mean, that's the beauty of Facebook. We don't have to look at people we don't want to see. And it goes the same way. If they don't like what I'm posting, they can easily go. I think what we have to remember is that for every person who kind of comes at you with that negativity, remember all the people who come at you with a positive. I'm sure we all have an example of somebody who just messages us out of the blue and says, wow, I've been following you for months. I love your journey. You know, I love to see those pictures that you post of the food. It gives me great meal ideas. Oh, I love to see that you're working out in the morning. It really reminds me to go out there and work out. You know, I love that. They love seeing you show up in the feed. They love the motivation that you're posting. I think it's easy to let them go because the negative tends to like eat at us more and we kind of like forget the positive. But I can tell you 5 people who claim that I'm motivating them versus one who's like negative. You know, there's a lot more out there who are appreciating what you're doing, even when you don't realize it. I actually had somebody stop me once. It was a little weird, but somebody stopped me once and say that they were saving my transformation pictures as motivation for themselves to say like, if she can do it, I can do it. You know, and maybe that was a bit much, but I think the sentiment was like, was there. You know, she's watching my account. This is somebody she doesn't even like my photos. When she told me, I don't even see her on Facebook. I know her. I see her in life, but I didn't even know she had a Facebook page. So, I mean, this is someone who even unbeknownst to me, she's watching, she's being motivated, she's being inspired, and it tells me I'm doing something right. So if you don't, you know, if somebody doesn't like my newsfeed, that's fine. You don't want to watch it, that's fine. Go ahead and block me. The first time I was blocked, I was like really offended by it. I couldn't believe somebody had blocked me, like as though I was some kind of weirdo who was trying to show them like body parts. Like, will you block me? But, you know, I got over it. It's fine. If you blocked me, you probably weren't going to be the kind of person who was going to come join my team anyway. So really, you're just saving me time from asking you to join. So with that, that's just about everything I wanted to say. I just wanted to like, you know, with some like closing thoughts, like remind you guys, like positivity breeds success. If you're putting that positivity out there, people will see it. It's going to shine from within you and people will be drawn to that. People are going to want to follow you. They're going to say what she's doing is working. She's a good leader. She's somebody I want to work with. She's somebody I would want to be in a group with. That's what you want people to see. If you're letting negative comments come at you and kind of get under your skin, that negativity is going to fester in you and it's going to start coming out. And, you know, 2 things are going to happen. Number 1, you're going to push people away. People do not want to work with somebody who's negative. And when you're negative, people are going to start to say like, well, what she's doing isn't working. It doesn't make her happy. So why would I do it too? And number 2, misery loves company. So if you're being negative, you're just going to attract more people who want to be negative with you. And those aren't the kind of people you want to build your team with. You don't want a bunch of negative Nancys and Debbie Downers on your team because nobody else is going to be attracted to them either. So just remember, you know, you want to try to be positive. Not like happy roses, sunshine all the time. Just have a positive outlook on life and like people will feed off of that. So one last thought in honor of the World Series, because I always like to think of this. In Major League Baseball, when you bat 300, that's actually considered really successful. When you are only successful a third of the time in baseball, you make the Hall of Fame. When you fail 2/3 of the time, you are still considered successful. The people who are top in this business are still being told more no's than they are told yes, but they are succeeding because they keep going after it. They're not letting the no get in their mind and just beat them down. It's all about the mindset. I took a look actually for fun at the list of people who have the most strikeouts and the list of people who have the most home runs. And on the top 20, actually 7 of those people are on both lists. So, that means the same guy who's has the most strikeouts in the league also has the most home runs in the league. So when he steps to the plate, he can either step to the plate and say to himself, I'm going to strike out. I know I'm going to strike out because that's what I do every single time I strike out. Or he can step to the plate and swing for the fences, crush the ball, watch it sail from the park and have everybody cheering for him. It's all in the mindset. It's up to you what you do and what you put out there. And, this time of year, I think it's really important to remember that because like Jillian was saying to us last week and, it was on the National Wake Up Call too, it's a tough time of year. We're going to hear even more no this time of year. Just keep going. Keep that positivity because if people see that at this time of year when they're feeling down, when they don't want to do it, but they see that you're still doing it, you're the one they'll come to in January. They'll say, wow, she stuck with it all that time. She's obviously the kind of person who's really dedicated, who's going to get me through my hard times. And, when they make their New Year's resolution, they're going to make it with you. So that's all I have. I don't know. Does anybody have any questions? Anything at all?
Let me if anyone has any questions, they can ask them now. I sort of obsessed with that baseball scenario. I think that's awesome. I know we're starting, I was actually just going to look up the name of that book. We are starting a book club this month.
I have it. It's called Make It Happen.
Okay, thank you. I have it too.
It's sitting right in front of me, so.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so we are starting a book club. Dana, do you have any PD books that you really like? And obviously you do a decent amount of personal development because you're totally able to brush these people off.
None that I can think of off the top of my head. I didn't prepare for that. No, I'll have to get back to you guys on that one.
Okay. Yeah, definitely share with us if you do. I hope that, you guys participate in the book club next month. I'm kind of excited to all read a book together. I shared the other things that were on my Kindle. I hope you guys saw, but it was a bunch of raunchy Chelsea Handler books.
Chelsea Handler is the best, though.
Yeah, and then this one personal development book.
It's a good mix.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm sort of excited for something different. Does anyone else have any questions? I know there's some newer people on the call. So
what's the plan for the book club? Are we going to read one chapter a week or?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'll have to look at where the hell is my Kindle? My Kindle, I think, is down there. I'll have to look at. Dylan, do you know how long it is?
I'm going to look it up right now. It looks like there's 12 chapters. There's 12 chapters and 3 parts, and then the 4th part is 5 steps. So that would be.
How many pages is it?
200.
Okay, so maybe we should work on 50 pages a week or something.
Yeah, something like that. That seems reasonable.
I'll have to. It's different on the Kindle, it doesn't So I'll have to look at it.
Yeah, because your pages are different. Because
yeah. So I'll look at it. I'm excited. It was a recommendation by one of, actually, I don't know if you guys know Allie Dar. She's a 3-star coach and fit couture, and she recommended it. So I sort of jumped all over it. So I'm really excited. Does anyone have any other questions for Dana before I let you guys get on with your nights? Everyone's quiet. Don't be quiet. Nothing?
Okay, this is totally off topic, but the potential coach I have, I didn't know she did Shaco on HD, and I just got her assigned under me, and she does it HD. So
Okay. That's good.
hopefully she'll sign to be a coach.
That would be exciting.
It would be awesome.
Anything else? Guys, Dana just answered all your questions. Really? I see, like, Meredith, is that your curtain, or are you, like, asleep? I see it. What are you doing over there?
Hold on one sec.
Oh, she's on the phone.
Bella's not going to bed. We're having a war over bedtime.
Oh, okay. Anyway. All right. Anyway, sorry about that. Okay. Nothing, guys? All right. Sarah, you there? I was going to bother her about Fall Classic. I hope everyone heard me. Get signed up for Fall Classic by Saturday. You do not want to be signed up, because when you hit like Success Club 47 and you don't get all your gear because you're not on a Fall Classic team, you're going to be really sad. So, I mean, Fall Classic. So don't come crying to me and ask me for my hammer and chisel shirt.
I'm not sure I'm going to cry if I hit Success Club 47, though, even if I miss out on hammer and chisel.
And just so you guys know, we'll have another call before this. We'll do a call in November. I do not think it will be the last Wednesday of the month, because the last Wednesday of the month is the day before Thanksgiving, and my guess is it'll be sometime the week of the 16th. Jen Richardson is going to be hosting it for us about coaching and inviting, and she's like ridiculous at that. I think she signs at least 10 new coaches a month. So, and she's really sweet and awesome if you guys haven't talked to her yet. So definitely look forward to that. She's great. So the probably like sometime the week of the 16th, maybe the 18th we'll do it. I think that's it. Oh, and if you guys are looking for, so Hammer and Chisel drops the beginning of December. I want to say somewhere around the 2nd, but I feel like it's not usually a Wednesday, so we'll have to check in on that. I would highly recommend that if you have Beachbody On Demand, that you do the previews they have on there. They have one chisel and one hammer workout. You cannot understand a word Sagi is saying during his hammer, so just sort of, try to watch instead of listen. But I would highly recommend you do that. You try out Body Beast, because there's a preview of that on demand. If you own 21 Day Fix or 21 Day Fix Extreme, now is a great time to go through the program again, to sort of like prep for it. I do not know what's going to be on sale next month. I will know on Saturday, and I will share, as always, I'll share with you guys as soon as I know. I'm crossing my fingers that the 21 Day Fix program stay on sale. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, to prepare for Hammer and Chisel, but I don't really know. I'm not, I don't have a globe or whatever. I don't know what you call that. Anyway, all right. So I'll let you, yeah. And like, just so you guys know, like Dana was talking about like her nose. I hear nose all the time, and like I do get blocked all the time, and I do have people unfriend me all the time, and I used to like get really sad about it too. And then, you just have to sort of come to realize, like through personal development, that it's really, you have something to offer and they're not interested, and that is honestly their loss. So I know that that's like kind of cliche to say, but I honestly do feel that way. I had someone in the intro to coaching group this week, and I noticed she wasn't in there anymore, so I went to send her a message, and she had defriended me, and I was like, oh, okay. So I sent her a message anyway.
I guess not.
Yeah, so, and I was like, hey, like, I saw you moved yourself in the group. Is everything okay? And she was like, yeah, I just realized it wasn't for me. I was like, okay, I was really hoping we could still stay connected, but totally understand. She's like, well, we're still connected on Instagram. I'm like, yeah, but you went out of your way to defriend me on Facebook, so a little weird. But it's fine, like, moving on, next person. So, and two, I was working towards trying to do like a Nike giveaway next week for anyone that wanted to sign up as a coach, but we kind of need some participation. So if people want to do that, let me know. I did a post about it in the group. It'd be like $5 to $10 chip in per person, and anyone that signed as a coach with a challenge pack next week would be entered to win, which is kind of a cool thing. So something to think about if you guys want to do that. So anyway, and it would be $5 to $10 no matter how many people you had sign up as coaches. So if you had 0, you chip in $5 to $10. If you had 5, you would still chip in the same $5 to $10. So, all right, I'll let you guys get on with the rest of your night. Thank you, Dana, again. That was awesome. I hope that you kind of conquered your fears. I know how scary it is to do this. So, yeah. So, oh shit, sorry, I just closed something. So, I'll talk to you guys later, and get ready for Fall Classic.
Yay!
Bye.
Bye!